What kind of bear is best?
To eat?
False. Black bear.
We were tweeting already.
You got your YouTube clip. Have you eaten up any animals?
Oh. Let me think. Did you know that bears have bones?
Get out.
So I get called the B word, the C word all the time.
Do you know nothing about firearm safety and maintenance? Idiot! Where's our hot chocolate? Hey! Mustache, you eat s'mores like you're 4 years old.
Did it feel good to whore yourself out?
It felt fantastic.
A Hollywood hippie and an Amazonian huntress, Rainn Wilson and Jana Waller-Bair cannot be more violently different and eternally divided.
That's already a judgy face. We just started.
No, I'm not judging.
But today they are sitting down together to discuss one specific topic, the environment.
You know, the thing I'd push back at you is the word alarmist.
Will they become more united by nature?
Without it,
Two liberal nerds.
You squash
versus one conservative
entrepreneurship.
huntress.
That's the question we will seek but never answer here on the Fire Pit.
Every day, people tell me the Earth is in danger, the environment is in peril. You may even think there's no hope left for humanity. It's easy to dwell in despair, but I decided to do something about it. I assembled a team of experts here who can solve once and for all of these problems here tonight. Let me introduce you to Rainn Wilson. Rainn Wilson, a conservationist, big game hunter, outdoor influencer, very influential.
Wait a minute.
Wait a second. Did I mix things up? And let me introduce you to Jana Waller-Bair, legendary actor, comedian, starred in The Office for many years, podcaster, Soul Boom.
I was in the Meg too.
You were in the Meg?
I was in the Meg.
Too?
No, the Meg as well.
Okay.
You have the word bear in your last name?
Yes, unfortunately it's not
And you
spelled right.
killed 19 bears.
When I met my husband and his last name was Bair, I thought that's the guy I gotta marry. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not done with the intro.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. They are no doubt coming from different sides of things, apparently. And we're going to see if they can bridge the gap and solve the pressing issues of our time here, today, at the Fire Pit. Okay, now you guys can talk.
That wasn't awkward at all. That felt totally natural.
Okay, so how do you guys know each other?
Oh, we go way back.
We go way back, yeah.
Way back.
Yeah. We were lovers, then friends, then lovers, then enemies.
Really?
Yeah.
There is a big joke about me with my close friends and family that I don't know who anyone famous is. Creature features are my kind of movies, you know, something that has a big creature in it. Mm-hmm. You know, King Kong, Jurassic Parks, sharks. So while the world knows Rainn from The Office, I know Rainn from the Meg because that's my kind of movie. I've been collecting shark's teeth for over 50 years. And so I brought you one from my personal collection because, of course, I know you from the Meg. So
Wow, is this a prehistoric shark's tooth?
it's a real megalodon tooth.
This is a megalodon tooth?
It is. It's not one I have found.
Huge.
It's not one I have
This is
found.
so cool.
But it's from my collection.
I should get it put in like a grill.
Oh, yeah. There you go. There you go.
What? Just roll up for one of these bad boys. Thank you, that's so kind of you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious, personally, how would you both describe yourselves and what would you describe about yourself as why you're connected to the environment?
As hunters, we're completely connected to the environment because hunters' dollars, number one, pay for the wildlife management in every single state in this country. In 1939, they enacted the Pittman-Robertson Act, which taxes all firearms, archery equipment, and all that money goes back to helping pay for the management of wildlife. And along with our licenses and our tags and our duck stamps, as well as all the money the conservation groups raise, we pay for wildlife management across the country. So I think, and we also protect a lot of the public lands that everyone gets to use, hikers, bikers, you know, a lot of those trailheads, a lot of the public lands are actually purchased and protected by hunters.
Question.
Sissa,
What kind of bear is best?
to eat?
False. Black bear.
We were tweeting already.
You got your YouTube clip. Who's hosting this again?
We don't know yet. And Rainn, I know you called us and you were really trying to get on the show and see if we had any opening spots. And
Yes.
so I was just
Thank
curious
you.
because, well, like, what is your connection to the environment? Why this show?
Well, I grew up in Seattle, and I always just loved nature. I wanted to get out into nature more. I would beg my dad to take us hiking and fishing and camping. And those were some of the highlights of my childhood, was just time I got to spend in the Cascade Mountains and the Olympic Mountains.
Yeah.
I just want to preserve those incredible forests for generations to come. And I love this crazy planet. And I want to be thinking about this planet 100 years from now for my great grandchildren, or 200 years from now. I want to be an amazing ancestor. And an amazing ancestor is someone that helps take care and preserve the land for future generations.
Yeah. Do you feel like your spirituality connects you more to nature?
Personally, I don't think there's a difference between spirituality and nature.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a difference between nature and God. I think the way that we know God is through nature. I think God manifests himself, herself, itself through the miracle of the seasons, and through the beauty of a sunset, and through the power of the ocean.
This question of, is God going to forgive us for what we're doing to the planet? That's something I think about a lot.
I don't think God smites and smotes people.
Smotes?
Smotes, the past tense of smites. Smotes and strikes and sends lightning bolts down to unbelievers and wicked people.
Yeah.
But I do think that we're going to pay the price with climate change. Extreme weather events have already quadrupled insurance around the United States. There's many places you can't even get your house insured for either flooding or fire, depending, because insurance companies understand that there is climate change and there's extreme weather, because they're paying the price for this. So humanity will pay a very steep price indeed if we keep going and kind of chugging carbon into the atmosphere at the rate that we're doing it.
Yeah. Do you feel similarly about climate change? And
I think we, as stewards of the land, non-hunters included, I think we have to do our best job that we can do to lower emissions, to, protect our waters, to protect our forests, which are giving us this beautiful air. I think we need to do everything that we can. I also think there's an alarmist side to it that, creates a lot of buzz and some negativity involved. But like Rainn, I love this planet so much. I've been really lucky enough to travel the world. I want to do everything I can to make sure my grandkids get to do the same things we do. Sit along a clean, beautiful beach, go into the mountains and, listen to elk bugle. I want the animals to be sustainable. And that's what we hunters really want. We want sustainable populations, healthy populations. Unfortunately, the whole nature balances itself out does not work. It doesn't come to play. It does in a boom and bust cycle, and that's not what we want. We want sustainability of everything, from predators and prey alike. And but I think we're all stewards of the land, and we need to do the best jobs that we can.
is spirituality a part of your life?
100%. I totally agree with what you're saying. Like that. How do you not feel close to God when you're on a beach or in the mountains and just feel the grandeur, and you get away from the cell phones and the mainstream media and all the bogus that you read about? And I don't think that we were actually meant to look at stuff on our phones and computers all day long of all the negativity around the world.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
The thing I'd push back at you on, and I love everything that you said, is the word alarmist is a catchphrase that has been very successfully posited in the public vocabulary by the forces of pollution. The oil industry and their supporters have very carefully curated a list of words, and one of those is alarmist, because frankly a lot of environmentalists have been maybe a little too alarmist. But that being said, it's pretty alarming if you dig into the data, and we're already up over 1.5 degrees Celsius around the world over the last 100 years.
I think there's a lot of propaganda on both sides of the issue, and I'm certainly not an expert to determine what they are. As a hunter who loves the planet and wants to, like you said, keep it for our grandkids, I want to do everything I can to make sure we have clean water and that we have clean, breathable air. Utah's air is not the best. I can't even imagine what it's like over there in LA. I mean, that's scary. And so,
But here's the thing about LA, though air used to be way worse.
oh yeah.
And there was a collective effort to reduce automobile emissions. That was the main cause of it. It's still bad, don't get me wrong. But comparatively, it's not as much. And that is, eliminating certain kind of fuels, regulating emissions, automobile emissions. So that's a collective government action that made the air better for us and our kids and our grandkids. And
we need global, wouldn't you say? We need global.
There's a lot of countries that aren't doing anything about it, and it's terrible.
Part of the thesis of the show and like what you're both trying to get at is like, how do we bridge the gap between the people who just want to stick their heads in the sand and the people who think that it's so bad there's literally nothing we can do? I mean, I feel this all the time, I think, with the environment. When you see some of the information out there, you feel like there's nothing we can do, what can be done, but also like, how do you find that ground?
Well, I think one thing that people can do, because this is a very common question, like what can we do, is you can research and read about it and learn about it, learn what we need to do. There's a lot of great research out there, and there's a lot of like tangible stuff you can do by how you install and build air conditioning, for instance, and that can have a tremendous effect on the environment. So I think one thing that everyone can do is just forget Fox News, forget MSNBC, forget all the sides of the political spectrum, and just try and look at data points and try and come to your own understanding. And this is part of the problem is, environmentalism has become politicized, and this is not doing ourselves or our planet or the God's glorious, mysterious, beautiful creation any favors by bringing kind of politics into, protecting the earth and honoring the earth.
I think self-research is always good. I think nowadays, like, on one hand, yeah, it's beautiful. We have the internet, we have ChatGPT and all this. And at the same time, there's so much bogus out there and propaganda. And it's hard to determine what's, factual and what's not. There's two sides to every story. There's, the anti-hunting community does a wonderful job of raising, millions of dollars every year to put out propaganda how we need to save the wolves. And they don't understand how the wolves have decimated the West and in many states. And I've been a wildlife commissioner. I've seen it firsthand. I've seen wolves hamstring, kill 30 bull elk in the middle of the winter in Yellowstone and leave them all for dead. Like, I've seen it with my own eyes. And so I do think it's smart to take the time and do your own research. And whether it's wildlife, whether it's public land, or whether it's emissions, I think we all need to step up and do a better job.
All right. Well, I have a segment for us that we're going to try out. It's called Helping or Hurting. I'm going to ask you a word or a term, and you have to say if it's either helping or hurting the environment or whatever.
Okay.
Got it.
All right. Video games.
Hurting.
Why?
Kids don't even get outside anymore. I mean,
I read a statistic that I'm not sure if I have to research and see if this is true or not.
Okay.
But it was saying that people in lockup in a penitentiary sometimes are outdoors more than teenagers in the United States.
Yeah.
oof, and that's only like a 30-minute.
Yeah, that's
like,
an hour or two of yard time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, listen, there's nothing inherently wrong with video games, but we're a screen-addled, screen-addicted, screen-dependent society, and it's cutting us off from our humanness.
But what do we say to people if we're like, hey, video games are disconnecting? Are we saying, we don't want you to have fun, or is there just other ways
Yes,
to
we
have
want to say
fun?
we don't want you to have fun.
No fun.
Okay.
Yeah, Jake, that's what we want to say.
Okay, because
No more fun.
Okay, next one. Environmental regulations.
Help.
Help?
Yeah, I think that I would, if I had to pick one of the two, I would say they help.
Okay, you have to think about it a little bit.
Well, that's a tricky one. But, I mean, it's hard to put that in one big
Perhaps
bubble.
there are some regulations that go a little too far,
Yeah.
but I think in general terms, I think, using the example of smog in Southern California in the 70s compared to now, you know about what happened with chlorofluorocarbons?
No.
In the hole in the ozone layer? Do you remember this? So aerosol cans used to have CFCs in them that would go right up into the atmosphere and burned a giant hole in the ozone layer, like almost the size of Antarctica. It was eating up the whole ozone. And all of the world's governments got together and said, we need to ban CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons. And we did it. And the hole shrunk and the ozone layer got better and stronger. So that was a regulation
Their
that kind of
lobbyists
helped
were pretty
save.
weak.
Women stopped using Aquanet, so, that helped.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Trader Joe's cashiers, are they helping or hurting the environment?
Helping.
I've never been to one.
You've
Never been to Trader Joe's? Are you a communist?
Not last time I checked, I wasn't. But no, I don't have one near me. I'm missing out. I'll stop in one next time I see.
No, yeah, they're always asking funny questions like, why do you smell like that? Like, what's that stain on your pants? They're very funny. They're hilarious. It's really good. I feel like
they do use too much plastic in their packaging, though. Everything has like just plastic all over it.
Yeah, I'm trying to eliminate that.
Oh, this is a good one. Fake meat.
Yeah, helpful. There's a lot of people that can't eat meat or don't want to eat meat. They can eat fake meat.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that you stop eating regular meat.
Yeah, Jana.
What's in the fake meat? What is it?
It doesn't matter.
See, I'm trying to de-chemical my life. Like you said, everything's in plastic.
Yeah.
Now, there's two different types of fake meat. There's the soy burgers, which I'm all for. Like, if you want to go have a veggie burger, I've eaten them. They're great. But the lab-grown stuff, that gets me a little freaked out.
Have you eaten raccoon?
I have not. I would totally try it, though. I have
Have
not.
you eaten squirrel?
Yes, squirrel.
Have you eaten any animal's penis?
Oh.
Let me think.
Bear penis?
No,
Cougar
but I
penis?
keep the bones. Did you know that bears have penis bones?
Get out.
They do. It's called a baculum, I
Boner?
believe. A baculum.
Yeah. We all did.
And it's a great coffee stirrer, but I keep them all.
Can I trade you
I
for a
can
bear
send
penis
you
bone?
a bear baculum. I'll send you one. You keep that. That's a gift.
I get to keep this
Yes.
and I get a bear
And
penis bone?
You get a bear penis bone. It'll be in the mail.
In a non-styrofoam
Yes,
mug.
in a non-plastic, contaminated,
Yeah.
toxic. Yeah.
Can I get one too?
Sure, I've got a bunch.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's good. Okay. Wonderful. Capitalism.
Oh, come on.
Helpful.
Helping?
And helping.
Really? Seriously? That's an impossible question. I'm like,
It is.
I don't think capitalism by itself is an evil that a lot of people paint it. I think it's how it's utilized. So it is both helpful and hurtful.
I mean,
I could
how is
bargain.
capitalism helping?
Well, I think without it,
Two liberal nerds
you squash
versus one conservative
entrepreneurship.
huntress.
Owned in the marketplace of ideas. Come on.
I
tell
think
us.
you squash entrepreneurship. You squash hard work. I mean, in terms of what you had just said, I agree with that to some degree. But I think, this is America, the land of the free, home of the brave.
Thank you.
This is where if you work hard, opportunities are endless. Now, is it perfect? No. No society is really perfect. But I think everyone should have the opportunity to go after their dreams, and capitalism can encourage that and helps that. If it makes it possible. After telling a couple of friends I was coming on, they're like, "Oh my God, you would love his podcast." So,
That's nice.
I'm looking
yeah.
forward to it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Hi. I found this on the beach. Some guy
Wow.
gave it to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Come on.
Do you guys want some s'mores?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you hunted s'mores before?
I've trapped some.
Just pretend that those are buffalo testicles that you're roasting.
Okay, so this segment is called America the Beautiful. I'm going to give you 240 seconds to collaborate to try to come up with an idea that will show off America's beauty. And I'm timing you now.
Okay.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Well, let's do a documentary.
Okay.
What should we include in that? What are the greatest things about America that we should include?
Well, our natural resources,
Our beautiful national parks.
our national parks. What if we showcased Native American ceremonies and wisdom?
I love that. I've hunted a ton with Native American tribes. I love that. How are we going to make it more entertaining?
Maybe we need to make it TikToks.
It's a little messy, but
We could dress up like trees or something.
Okay, like a music video, like.
Yeah. I don't know if 240 seconds are over, but I'm gonna eat my s'more now.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat mine.
What if we travel the Great American West with my zonkey, Derek? If I rode Derek, what would you ride?
Gus our mule.
I'm not
Depends
sure.
on the
I don't know how the segment is going.
Yeah.
How do we
We're gonna
think
get
it's
cut
going?
off here in a minute.
We lost our host.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. I didn't hear any of that, so I'm excited to hear what you both came up with.
I thought it was
right?
pretty good.
Camera opens up
Okay.
on a montage of America's national parks with lots of native tribes showing their incredible dances and traditions,
Drums.
drums,
Okay.
flutes. Enter John Stamos and 50 miniature donkeys.
With sparklers on. What
That's as
about
far as we
fireworks?
got.
Fireworks in the background?
We can put those in, in post in AI.
Yeah, okay.
AI fireworks and sparklers.
AI?
Uh-huh.
We're using AI for
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
AI, is John Stamos AI or is he real?
Yeah, we really don't need him.
If we can afford him,
It depends.
we'll get the real John Stamos. If we can't, we'll just
Okay.
use AI.
Okay. I'm not trying to be mean, but we've done this segment a few times and this is by far the worst response we've gotten.
Well,
Well, that was mean.
they
So,
can't all be
yeah,
first
congratulations.
league picks. They can't all be first league picks.
It's good, but it's not good. But what about this? Because I was thinking about this too. We put sand and water in every town. Everyone has a beach to admire.
I'm not a beach person, so I don't really like that.
No AI involved.
Would John Stamos be involved?
No, he's not involved. He's
He's
not
so
there.
handsome, though. Oh my God. You eat s'mores like you're 4 years old. Your mouth is covered in chocolate.
Well, I made yours all nice. I kind of quickly made mine and. Do I have to talk
I'm
anymore?
sorry. I'm sorry. Okay.
Is it me? I'm trusting you.
I'm good.
This segment that we're going to do now is called Guess the Guest. I'm going to throw out some quotes that either one of you have said. These are actual quotes you've said, and you have to figure out which one of you said this. You get it. Okay, I'm going to throw out a quote. The first quote: "We all want to be better people, to have our hearts be true and our souls radiant."
John Stamos.
He's not here.
Jana.
I say Rainn.
That was Rainn.
I knew it.
Soul Boom in stores now.
Womp womp.
Thank you.
You're welcome. "I've got a gun in every room of my house."
I don't know how to answer that.
I can see myself saying that.
You could?
I don't know when I would have said that, but I can see myself saying that.
So it's not true.
No, it's true.
Oh,
It's
okay.
totally true.
Burglars beware.
Yeah.
The
Mainstream.
other problem, sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, I'm just kidding. Mainstream media
I
is
forgot
not.
you were here. Anyway, do you want to get a drink?
Sure, let's go.
So in this segment, we're gonna tell scary stories.
Okay.
It's gonna be about the environment, right? And we're gonna go around in a circle. We're each gonna say a little piece, okay?
Okay.
So I'm gonna start. Once upon a time, there was a bear.
And it didn't have a penis bone and felt deeply ashamed.
But he heard there was a place that he could travel to fix the problem.
And so he traveled to the doctor who recommended a prescription called
Bear penis bone Pilodocus.
The problem was, though, that while the bear was at the doctor,
he got really hungry, so he decided maybe he should take a bite of the doctor's penis.
Soon he had devoured the entire staff, including the receptionist and the head of valet parking.
being full and hardly able to move, he waddled back out to the parking lot, only to
See a hunter called Jana Bair, who was holding a gun and had a big smile on her face.
Don't make me be out the evil person.
He said, no, don't shoot. I'm the world's only talking bear.
So Jana dropped her rifle in astonishment that this bear was actually talking back to her.
Yeah.
And then
The bear ran over to Jana and started to attack her.
Saying, you never drop your firearm. Do you know nothing about firearm safety and maintenance? Idiot!
the end.
Wonderful.
The funniest part of that is I literally saw yesterday in the gas station a sticker with Dwight on it and it says, "You're an idiot." Have you seen those?
There's a lot of
Felt like that was almost
paraphernalia.
planned. Okay.
Would you guys like some hot chocolate?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, let me go
That'd
get
be
that.
great. Is it weird to like see stuff like that? Like that's someone using my face and like, I'm sure it's not all regulated like through.
No, a
that
lot
really
of it is like if you go to Target and there's a lot of Dwight paraphernalia,
Yeah.
that is kind of, I won't say regulated, but like approved, officially approved.
Yeah.
But you can go on Etsy and there's like 20,000
Magnets and stickers.
weird Dwight stuff that, but the weirdest is the tattoos.
Oh yeah, I bet.
The people with the Dwight tattoos.
I
You
bet.
must have a lot of like huge Hunter fans proposing to you or sending you gifts, or do you have had like
I
any
think
like
I'm too old.
stalkers or anything like that?
I've
or-
never, I've only had anti-hunters stalk me, which is scary because you don't know how far they're gonna go. Like I've had to have the FBI involved and like,
Oh gosh.
yeah, like death threats. I'm gonna gut you on your front lawn in front of your kids kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And you don't know like to what level are they
I
just,
don't understand anti-hunters.
I think they're against any animal killing whatsoever, most of them.
Okay.
But their comments, I get called the B word, the C word all the time on social media. But your skin gets really thick because people are just cruel and mean to hunters, especially women hunters, just saying, really derogatory comments. And just through the all fake accounts, like no one ever stands up to you and personally says it, but they're all online. And
Sure.
you just get used to it over the years, but you get pretty thick skin.
Yeah, I'm pretty used to it too.
Yeah.
I've been called every name in the book.
Why? Everybody loves the character.
I've said dumb things before,
Well, who hasn't?
but then I'm not necessarily politically right or politically left, and I speak on both sides of a lot of
Yeah.
issues, and then I kind of get it from both sides. So
Yeah.
that's when I know I'm doing something right, is when the left and the right are both
Both mad at you.
both mad at me.
Yeah.
Why do
So-
they even have Jake here?
We don't need them. I mean, come on.
Where's our hot chocolate? Hey, mustache,
Making it fresh.
mustache boy. Let's
Aw,
go.
look at that.
Okay.
That's so nice.
Thank
Some
you.
hot chocolate here. Some marshmallows if you
Thank
want
you
some.
so much. Heck yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, take some more. You gotta have more than that, right?
I didn't want to see
Does
one.
your husband like to hunt?
Oh yeah, he's huge. He's been involved actually in the conservation side of hunting since he was like 20.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. How is it?
That's very good. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
It's called hot chocolate. This is
Cold chocolate.
lukewarm chocolate.
Well, this is actually a part of a segment that we're doing.
Okay.
Okay, so the segment is called Hot Takes with Hot Chocolate.
Lukewarm takes with lukewarm chocolate.
No, it's Hot Takes with Hot Chocolate.
Okay. Here we
And
go.
the idea is that you're going to share something that to you used to be a hot take, but has cooled down over time, and now you think is actually a neutral, lukewarm take, right? Something you used to think was kind of controversial, but now over time you've accepted as like, oh, actually, yeah, that's not a hot take anymore.
I
Man.
can start. I was a bird hunter as a kid, but I didn't start big game hunting till I was a freshman in college. But I used to say I would never shoot a bear. And it wasn't until I moved out west to Montana that I went on my first hunt, experienced what it was all about, learned about predator-prey relationships and predator management. And I fell in love with the process. But that was one thing that I used to say all the time I would never do, and now I'm a huge advocate for predator hunting. So
You know how everyone says the space shuttle is cool? Like that was a cool thing? At a time, people were like, the space shuttle actually wasn't that great. It kind of bogged down the space program after Apollo. It was kind of like emerging with the military to try to get missiles into space, and get big payloads, and it was way less inefficient and had lots of accidents, famous big incidents, So I used to think, hey, that's stupid because it's the space shuttle, right? The space shuttle is really cool looking. But then over time, I did some research into it, and I learned more about the space shuttle program, and I actually think it's overrated. That's gonna be in the episode. Don't laugh about that. People should know. It's not that great.
When I was in acting school, I was very pretentious.
Really?
I'm still a little pretentious, but I was very pretentious. We all were very pretentious. And I remember we having a conversation one night, and we're like, would you ever act in a commercial? And we were like, no. I would never act in a commercial, never. I would never sell out. And now I've hoarded myself out for so many amazing products, like Little Caesars Pizza,
Yeah.
and AT&T,
Yeah.
and T-Mobile, competing phone companies,
Dual,
Really?
yeah.
Airheads.
They're a fine product.
All of these are
everybody
fine
loves
products.
Airheads.
Did it feel good to whore yourself out?
It felt fantastic.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, fine. Well, we're wrapping up here, but you guys have an opportunity right now, if you choose to take it, to speak directly to camera and share an urgent message to our passionate audience.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hey guys, just so you know, there have been recent government rollbacks on environmental protections like clean air and clean water. And in the midst of all the chaos in the world, people are not looking at what's really going on behind the scenes. The EPA is no longer protecting us from the release of CO2 into the atmosphere. Oil companies are being let off the hook. Coal is increasing. And listen, none of that makes economic sense. The state of Texas gets most of its energy from solar because it's cost effective. Solar and wind are the most cost effective. Let the market decide. Thank you.
Listen, everybody, simple message. I don't even need my 30 seconds. Do a little research. Hunters are the truest animal lovers in this country. It's the North American model of conservation. We're planet lovers. We love the environment. We love the animals. We love our public lands for everyone to enjoy, which is often provided by hunters. So you don't have to become a hunter yourself, but understand a little bit about wildlife management and support us.
Thank you. One last thing, I have loved having this conversation with both of you. I'm going to say one more word for each of you, and you have to say the first thing that comes into your head. First word that comes to your head, okay? Rainn, Jana Waller Bair.
Ferocious Amazonian queen.
Wow.
Okay. Jana?
You said one word, right?
Yeah. Rainn Wilson.
What'd you say?
Rainn Wilson.
Trying to think of the one word that brings everybody together. Just soulful. Soulful.
Oh, wow, that's so nice of you. Thank you.
And do you guys have a word for me?
Jake.
Yeah, that's my name. That's my name. Okay. That's great. Okay, well, I've had a lovely...
How did you get this job?
What? I don't know. It's been great talking to you. Do you guys mind taking we're at the beach, taking a nice family vacation photograph with me?
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
Of course.
Let's go do it.
Let's do it.
Do it.
We're talking shit around the fire pit, you know. Perfect.
When your wife leaves you and takes the baby and the dog,
Yeah.
naked and alone,
Yeah.
it's gonna be the Jake.
It's my life. It's not.
I don't even know your last name.
No, it doesn't matter.
It
Nobody
doesn't
does.
matter. It does not matter.
Thank you for reminding me.
What are we doing?
Okay, pit heads, pitties, pit people, sound off in the comments. Let us know how. We're not done yet, but I'm just doing that. Let
Smash
us
that
know.
like button.
Smash that like button. Just relish in my humiliation. Thank you.
Hang with Jake. Jana Lake. Yeah, fire pit. God damn, I'm like tripping. I'm usually so good at making stuff up.